All right, what is going on? I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be making the capelletti from Rezdôra in New York City. It's called Grandma Walking Through the Forest in Emilia. I think that's what it's called. So let's get it started. I'm gonna start with the pasta dough. I'm gonna do like two egg yolks and 2 whole eggs. All right, what is going on? I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be making the capelletti from Rezdôra in New York City. It's called Grandma Walking Through the Forest in Emilia. I think that's what it's called. So let's get it started. I'm gonna start with the pasta dough. I'm gonna do like two egg yolks and 2 whole eggs. I blanched some spinach and just in water, and I put them in an ice bath. It's a spinach pasta, which I'm sure if you're trying to find a recipe, I'm sure you'll know that. So I think it should be good. Okay, so got the eggs and the egg yolks. I have a handful of spinach here that I blanched. I'll probably do all of it, so it has a nicer, deeper color. I was actually lucky enough to go to the restaurant back in early April, but I didn't actually have the Grandma Walking Through the Forest because I came during the lunch service. Okay, so just puree this. Okay, so I did a puree on this, but I mean it looks a little bit too gritty for the texture, so I'm just going to transfer it over to the Vitamix. So start out with a blender the first time. So I'm going to be doing a mix of regular flour and semolina flour. I'm pretty sure he just uses, referring to Stefano, I think is his name, from Rezdôra, the owner. I think he just uses double zero flour, but I'm going to do a blend because I don't have 00 flour. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do 100 grams of semolina, 105 grams, and then I'm going to do like 300 grams of regular flour. You know what? 500. Might as well make a little bit more. Okay, so 100 grams semolina, 400 grams white flour, regular flour. Gonna dump this in. Look at the color of that. Okay, so that's in. I'm going to do some olive oil, which I don't think he uses, but we're just gonna do a little bit. So give us a nice little better texture. Some olive oil. We'll do a pinch of salt. It might be too dry, so I might have to add a drop of water, but we'll see what happens. So you could do this with hand, or you can do it with the stand mixer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add a drop of water. Okay, that's looking good. Might be a little bit wet, but it's okay. Not a big deal. You typically want to not add any water, but yeah, gonna wrap this up. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit too wet, so don't add that water. Wrap this up. I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Okay, so while we're waiting, we're going to make the braised leek filling. I'm not actually gonna braise them, but I'm just gonna cook them over the stove. If you want to braise them, you could just put them in the oven with some salt, oil, and pepper. So just chop these up fairly normal. I'm probably gonna do about 3. I think 3 is gonna be good. You don't want to do too much because you don't really need that much in each one. Also, I'm gonna do a pinch of salt to help them break down a little bit easier, since there's a good amount in here. Good. Now while that's going, I'm gonna start working on the mushroom puree. This is just a blend of white shiitake and baby bella. So I'm gonna do a little bit of oil. What I do have is I soaked some porcinis for a few hours, which I'm just gonna add. I think it's gonna give it a little bit more of that nutty flavor. Also, don't get rid of this juice because I'm gonna utilize it later on when I'm finishing the raviolis. I also have a little bit of sweet peas. I don't think he puts this in the recipe, but I think I'm gonna do it because it's gonna give it a little bit more of an interesting taste. So all I did was just blanch them really quick, and I'm gonna keep this last leek for the once you cook them in the pan. Okay, so these are cooking down really nice. So all it really is leek, oil, salt. And I think I'm gonna do a knob of butter to give it a little bit more creaminess. Unsalted butter, that is. Okay, that's that. Mushrooms are looking really good. Also, I would really recommend to get the porcini mushrooms because it has that really woody, good taste. So I think it's gonna make all the difference. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna take the blender again. Half of this recipe is using a blender, which is funny. I'm gonna put these in here. Okay, that's that. Sweat these down a bit. These are almost done as well. So that's good. I'm gonna do the peas. These are just regular green peas, organic. Like I said, I don't think he puts this in the in his recipe, but I think it's a good addition. A little bit of oil, not too much, so it helps it get emulsified. I'm gonna do some parmesan. This is the pre-grated stuff, but it's from Whole Foods and it's pretty good, and it's a lot easier than taking forever to grate your own. Just a little bit, not too much. Good. And I'm also pretty sure he adds a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Good. I'm just gonna try this, see if it's missing anything. Nice consistency. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Before I put this in a piping bag, I'm going to let it cool off a bit and puree the mushrooms. Okay, so mushrooms going in. Mushrooms in. I'm gonna do a little bit of this porcini water, some parmesan. Okay, blend this up till it's smooth. Do a little bit at a time. that is looking perfect. Yeah, cool. Give it a try again, see how it tastes. And you don't want it to be too runny. Smells amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I've never had anything like that in my life. But yeah, it's super good. So I'm just gonna put it back in here to keep it warm. Okay, so I got the leek filling and the mushroom puree that's gonna go on the bottom. They both look pretty good to me, but I think his is a little bit darker because his is braised, but I think this will do, and it gives it a little bit more of a fresher flavor, I think. So now I'm gonna start rolling out the pasta. Okay, so got the pasta here. Has been resting for 30 minutes in the fridge. It's a little bit too sticky, I would say, for sure. So do not add that water, or add just a drop. So now I'm gonna have to laminate this a bit. Yeah, it's way too sticky. I'm gonna do a quarter of it. I think that should be okay. So you want to wrap the rest up so it does not dry. I'm gonna put mine back in the fridge again. Okay, so I got some regular flour. Yeah, it's a little bit too soft, but not a big deal. The dough is looking amazing though, really nice and green. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be laminating this dough so it has a better chew and it's more al dente and it's not as soft. So it's going to take a few times to do this. And you see how it's still coming out wet? You do not want that. So I'm going to laminate. I'm going to add a little bit of flour as we go. Yeah, it's way too wet, but should be okay. Okay, so I'm still rolling this out, but before we finish doing that, I want to put the leek filling in a piping bag. So what I have here is just a big Ziploc bag, which I put in a cup. So what I'm doing here is I rolled it out, I laminated it a few times. What I did, I just kept it on the highest setting, or the thickest one, and I folded it a bunch of times. It just ran through. Okay, so now we're gonna continue doing that, and I like to do like a double run on each setting. So this is still on one, and each time I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on it just so it doesn't get sticky. Now I'm gonna pop it down, drop it down to 2. I usually like to put this side first, the one that has the easier way to go in. Okay, so I think that looks about right. What I'm gonna brush off the excess flour so it's possible to shape them. It's a little bit uneven, but it's not too bad. Okay, so I have a little cutter here. I'm gonna make it even. This is my first time doing this, so don't judge me if I mess up. Because the shaping is not easy. This looks uneven. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. Still looks strange. Better, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna, we'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll do 4. Okay. Good. Okay, so I'm going to snip this off. Now I'm going to pipe it in the middle, not too much. Good. Let that hang out. Okay, so in the video, what he does, he flips this over. Just like that. He has a different tool, but I'm going to try to do it with this cutout. Yep, I think that looks good. Just like that. His has the edges on it, but I'm going to seal this up. It's a lot harder than it looks. Okay, so that's sealed up. And then he folded over, I think, like this. Yep. I think that looks good. See, the dough is a little bit too soft, which I'm going to have to definitely come back and figure out. But I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it like that. What you could do is take this, cut it around, so it's going to have those ridges. But I'm going to keep it like this, and we do the rest, and then we're going to finish it. Okay, so I did shape a good portion size. I think I got this shape pretty okay, maybe not. If Stefano's watching this video, which he's probably not, you can guide me a little bit better, but I'll see that. This one's open. Yeah, so make sure they're not open. Make sure you get them sealed pretty good with the water. So I think he puts like 6 in there. So maybe I'll do 6 as well. So I'm gonna cut the leek, and then I'm gonna cut it again. And then I'm just gonna make small cuts, like strings. Okay, that's good. Drop these in. Probably a little bit bigger than his, but I think it's fine. So I'm gonna cook these down. I think in the inside the pan he just does some leeks, oil, a little bit of pasta water. I think that's it. But I think I'm also going to add a drop of this just to give it a little bit more mushroomy taste. Probably boil these for about 3 minutes. Let them chill out for a bit. I'm going to put it on 5, which is like medium. Let these cook for a few minutes. Okay, these are sweat down a bit. I don't want to cook them anymore. I add a drop of pasta water. Also going to do a drop of this. Smells incredible. They're looking pretty good. The shape is kind of weird, but I mean, whatever. It's not a big deal. I think they're cooked. I'm gonna add these in. Doesn't matter if you get a little bit of water. Good. Let these cook off a bit. While that's going, I'm going to add a nice scoop of the mushroom puree. Spread that out. Good. I think these look good. The shape is definitely different than his, and they're not all going in the same direction. Oh, that one got. Good. Off. Okay, add these on top. I think his looks a little bit more starchy or something. It has like a more white sauce. So okay, so my camera's about to die. So this is the good quality Parmesan. I'm gonna add a little bit. Looks incredible. Okay, let's try it. Grandma Walking Through the Forest to Emilia from Rezdôra, inspired from Italy, Stripped to Italy by Stefano. Let's see. Oh yeah. Amazing texture, flavor. Really good. Try it out. Until next time.